Okay, we're recording and I'm making you the host. And you should be all set to go.
Okay. If you guys can turn your cameras on as long as you're not in the shower or doing something you shouldn't be, I would appreciate it. So I'm not looking at a bunch of faces that are just pictures. But for those of you that don't know me, I am Darian Vantine. I am a diamond leader with It Works. I have been with the business it'll be 4 years next month. So I joined during boom season in 2016. So this will be my fourth boom season that I'm going into. But we just kind of wanted to do the Zoom for you guys. It kind of was a last minute thing. We kind of just planned on doing. I think it was like Thursday or Friday. We were just kind of talking about it and like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Kayla's gonna speak life into you guys. Katie has some great tips. I've got some great tips for you. Caroline did, but she won't. Like Kayla said, she won't be on. Alabama's weather is just fantastic. So I'm just going to hop in pretty much, just start asking questions. If you guys have any questions that are not getting answered, just go ahead and put them in the chat. And then Kayla, Katie, or I will answer. All right. So Kayla, the first question, I need to figure out how to unmute you.
I got it. What's up?
Perfect. Okay. So the first question that I had for you, as we're going into boom season, the Zoom was called Blinders in Boom Season because you have done a fantastic job of keeping your blinders on and focusing on your business, not looking left and right to compare. Could you just give us a little tip, like any of your tips that you've been doing to focus on your business? I know it's a lot easier said than done to just look at yourself and your business. So,
okay. So just like a backstory. So, for those of you that have no idea who I am, my name is Kayla. I've been with It Works for 2.5 years now. It'll be 3 years in May, which is nuts. This is my 2017, 20. This is my fourth boom season, which is crazy. But I'm also from like a really small town in the smallest state in the country. I'm from Rhode Island. I'm also 23 years old. Anyway, that's a little bit about me. But I have been on both sides when it comes to boom season, and I have learned a lot, so much like within this business in the last 3 years. So when it comes to boom season, I have been in the spot where boom season has not been good to me. And I've also been in boom season where it has been amazing for me. And, if for those of you that are new or maybe you've only been in this business for like a little bit or whatever, this business happens in 3-month increments. So like the work that you did like 3 months ago is paying off like right now. So for me, like when 2019 for me was a year of growth. It was a year of a lot of growing pains, a lot of learning, a lot of lessons, a lot of mistakes. Like I did not expect anything to happen in 2019 that went like as bad as it did, but stuff happens, life happens, and 2019 I learned from it. But now that I've grown so much, like I started 2020 by pressing the reset button, literally. I just went balls to the wall, like literally balls to the wall. I have this whole past year, drop a 1 if you've ever felt like a crap leader. Like drop a 1. Like if you've ever felt like it, or you feel like you genuinely are, or you like don't know like what to do, or you're just like so lost and you don't know like how to like lead a team. Yeah, there's some ones. Let's go. See, you're not alone in that. Okay. This whole past year, I have felt like a crap leader because like I let whatever else was in my personal life affect my business. So I felt like a crap leader. I felt like I wasn't doing what I needed to do to lead my team. I felt like just awful. I felt stupid, right? And in 2020, I was just like, I need to step it up. I need to get my head out of my butthole and get to work. So I literally just like freaking pressed the reset button and threw the old Kayla in the trash. Okay. I literally was just like, 2020, what do I want to be? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? What are my goals? Where do I see my team going? Okay. And I have been pushing for double for a year now. And it's been a hard journey. It's been hard, but I have never given up on myself. And you sure as heck, I will not give up on my team. So I just put my blinders on. I didn't care what people think about me. I could literally give two craps. I don't care. I do not care what people think about me. And like, I just like I want to be the best leader that I can be. I want to be the best person for myself, but I also want to be the best for my team. So I had to just let it go. I had to let 2019 go. I had to just get over it. And it's easier said than done, of course. But like, I was like, I'm done being stuck over and over and over again. I am done letting my team down. I am done like just repeating the same crap cycle over and over and over again. I was like done. So I just put my blinders on, and I am not looking at who's doing what. I'm just doing me. We all know how to work our businesses. We all know. The only thing that we do is talk to people. That's all we do. If you really think about it, that's all that we do. So like, I just started doing more instant resends. I started messaging more. I started self-developing more. I poured into my team more. I believed every single person that I talked to, whether it was a potential LC or a potential distributor, was going to sign up in the next 20 minutes. I genuinely believed that. So I just started over because like I knew that like if I wanted boom season to be good to me, I had to put in the work. I had to just step it up. And like, it's hard to do that when you have felt like a crap leader for like a whole year. It's really hard to do that. And like, and then it's just, I don't know, like you just have to decide to do it. And that's what I did on the 1st of this month. And I just put my blinders on and I got to work, and I have gotten 15 enrollments this month, and it's the 13th. Like, that's like a lot, like, right? Because like that's basically an enrollment a day. I wasn't doing that like 4 months ago. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I wasn't. But like it just took a decision to just know what I wanted to do and then do it. And that's all I got.
No, that was good. Yeah, for those of you that don't know Kayla is very honest, and how is this Zoom is going to be? She is very honest. I can't be as blunt as her because I'm just like, I don't know, I can't be. But I love Kayla for it because Kayla can get the point across that I know a lot of people wish they could, but she has such a great thing with words. I just love it. So for those of you that are new and that can't necessarily relate quite to being in for multiple boom seasons, basically boom season is the beginning of the year from like January to May. It's just when your business just takes off between people having New Year's resolutions, wanting to lose weight, wanting to make more money. The weather's getting nicer depending on where you're at. So people are feeling better about themselves. And you know, like people are getting their taxes back. So they're like, okay, let's do this. I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to change my health. I'm ready to do all these things. And I need to just turn my phone off. Every time it goes off, I'm just sitting there reading it. But anyway, that's kind of what boom season is. It's not like there's nothing, I don't want to say it's not special because it is a very special time in your business. But basically that's all it is. As long as you're utilizing what your leaders tell you to do, there's no reason you can't be successful, especially during this time of year. Katie.
I was just going to say too, I think, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think boom season 2 also has to do with like, if you go to conference, that is going to set your business on fire. And that's pretty much what helped me last year, is going to conference. Cause I've not been in it near as long, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Like, conference is everything. And that's it.
Yeah, conference is lit. If you aren't going, you're gonna have serious FOMO. And I will say right now, like my first conference I went to in 2018, and if I did not go, I would have quit. I would not be here. I would not be talking to you guys in the Zoom right now. And I'm coming up on my 3rd conference, which is lit. Because conference is an experience where you get to be surrounded by people that get you. that understand who you are, that understand what you do, that understand the it works way. They just get it. Everybody around you gets it. And it's just like it's like a whole family, and the energy and the positivity and hearing Mark talk and all the things we get to do because you're around your people. It's an indescribable feeling that I can't really put into words. All I'm saying is that get your butts there. If you aren't going to conference, you need to go. This is blunt as possible. You need to go. You can't afford not to go. If you're in a spot where like you want more money, you want to make more money, you want to be motivated, you want to see what this company is about, get your butt to conference. I don't care how you get there. I don't care. Just get there.
Okay. Kayla.
Sorry, super red. Sorry.
No, you're
actually no, I'm not sorry.
You're totally fine. So with that, have you promoted in boom season?
I have. Yes, I did. My first ever promotion, actually.
Okay. So can you tell us kind of how that looked for you? And then I'll go in and I'll talk about my experience with that as well.
Okay. So I joined in May 2017. 2 weeks after I joined, my enroller quit. I did not receive any training. I kind of had to figure everything out on my own. 6 months passed by. So end of 2017. My like next upline reached out to me, and she actually taught me everything that I knew. And so if you're in a similar spot where your enroller quit or whatever, don't think that you can't do it. Just go to the next person that you can go to that can help you, because they will. So once I started really working hard, I started really honestly working hard the month of December of 2017. And I was charted Ruby. I didn't even know I was charted Ruby. And back then, you had to have 5 distributors to be charted Ruby. And I didn't even know that I was charted. I had no clue. I didn't even know what a Ruby chart was. I was clueless. I had nothing. I did not know what I was doing. So my upline that took over and helped me, she really poured into me. And I started just doing all the things. And then stories weren't a thing. Stories on Instagram and Facebook did not exist. So we used to post 2 to 3 times a day, which is crazy. But I just posted my brains out, and I really just wanted it. I wanted an extra $500 a month, because I originally joined just for an extra $100 a month for gas. But I wanted to get an extra $500 so I could pay for books and groceries while I was in school. I was a junior in college at the time. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I was a senior in college at the time. And I literally just, I had 18 credits. I had a varsity sport that took up 25 hours of my week. I had 12-hour horse shows. I was on an equestrian team, which took up my entire Saturday. I had 2 clubs, and I had another job on campus. I was a tour guide. So if you say that you're busy because of school, it's a big fat excuse, because if I can literally go Ruby while doing all of that, you can too. Okay. So what I did was just tunnel vision. It all comes down to, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want your promotion? How bad do you want $500 extra or whatever promotion you're going for? How bad do you want it? That's literally what it comes down to. And I just didn't give myself excuses. I didn't care. I would stay up late at night and wake up early. I would message and post, at lunch because I always ate lunch by myself just because my schedule was so whack. So I would post and message and follow at lunch. And then I'd go to class, and then I'd go to equestrian practice. And then as soon as I got out of equestrian practice, I'd answer messages before I got in the car, drove back to campus, got on campus, parked, answered more messages, sent more messages out. And it's just all about fitting it into the nooks and crannies in your day. Since it happened so long ago, I can't remember how many people I enrolled during boom season, but I remember I enrolled the most I've ever enrolled because I worked so hard. And I just didn't have school be an excuse. I didn't have laziness be an excuse. I didn't have tiredness be an excuse. I didn't care. I wanted Ruby so bad because I only got $130 every 2 weeks for my on-campus job, which is $260 a month. And that is not enough as a broke college student. That wasn't enough for my books. It wasn't enough to get gas. It wasn't enough to get groceries. And I was sick of asking my dad, asking him for $50 every week. I was over it. I wanted to change it. And the only person that can change your situation is you. So I literally just did balls to the wall, did all the things, and I promoted to Ruby the day before conference. And then on February, I think if I can remember correctly, in 2018, conference started on February 1st, and I flew out the next morning. I promoted at like 1 a.m. the night before, slept for 2 hours, got on a plane, went to Florida as like literal brand new Ruby. And it was like probably the best feeling ever, because that's what I wanted to do, and I did it.
Oh, I love it. That's kind of how I was. I've only promoted twice in the business. I double promoted to Ruby and double promoted to Diamond, and both times were in boom season. Both were in March. And basically my Ruby one, I can't, with it being a while back, I can't remember, again, like the exact numbers or anything, but like knowing my Diamond promotion last year in March, I was actually working a part-time job at a daycare just a couple days a week, and it was only for like 3 or 4 hours a day. And I was pregnant, and it was getting super stressful for me, and I was also having a high risk pregnancy. So that was also something that was stressing me out, not just like with the job. So on my 3-year anniversary with the company, so that was February 12th, I had actually quit. I had texted my boss. I'd never done this before. I texted my boss, and I told her that I would not be coming in the next day. And then from that point to the end of February, I remember enrolling 14 customers for a little over 1,000 BV. I literally just sat myself down, and I was like, okay, like if I'm going to go Diamond, like this is what I need to do. And in that time, I looked at my chart and I said, okay, what do I need for Diamond? How many distributors do I need? What does my volume look like? And if you guys don't know like how to chart anything, there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to chart. You can always ask your upline as well. But basically I sat down and I looked at it, and I was like, okay, I need this many distributors and I need this much volume. And so I sat there and I looked, and I was like, okay, we're making this happen. And then when that didn't happen in February, because I really wasn't working as hard as I should have been before I had quit that job. I was just a very negative headspace. But as soon as I quit that, I was very relieved. Like I just felt like a weight was lifted and that I could solely focus on my business. And so from February 12th until March 31st, when I promoted, what I did every day was I got up and I did a 2-hour power hour with an accountability partner. And all we did was work. I got out 100 hosted post messages on Facebook. In that time, I was following people on Instagram. I sent 25 messages on Instagram, and I posted on my story and made a post. That's what I did in the morning. And then throughout the day, I was answering all those messages. I was sending new messages. Honestly, I can't tell you one person can tell you, oh, it took me 200 messages a day to go and promote to this. But other people, it took a lot more than that, or it took a lot less than that. But it's honestly a numbers game. What I tell my team is that I could message 10 people and get 10 responses, but I could also message 50 people and get no responses. So for me to tell you a certain number a day, that was not helpful for me when somebody was telling me that. I kind of just had to find what I was comfortable with. And for me was I needed to have a certain amount of conversations a day to make myself feel like I was productive a day. So I was doing host to post on Facebook for loyal customers, and I was just messaging for customers and distributors on Instagram. But basically I also was doing power hours I did 1 power hour in the afternoon and then another power hour in the evening with my team. And what I was doing was that I was like in between all those power hours, I was still working, but it was more like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here. Nothing was I honestly wasn't set in stone about it. But that's kind of what got me from Ruby to Diamond. And honestly, just knowing that I needed it to work because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. My son was due in May, and that was something that was very important to me. So I was messaging every day. I was posting every day. And I was keeping people informed on my promotion. I started at the beginning of the month, said, this is the bonus that I'm earning. This is the income and the rank that I'm promoting to by the end of the month. Like, this is what it's going to do for my family. And then weekly, well, I think it was more like every 4 or 5 days, not quite weekly. I was telling people and updating them like where we were at on that, how many people were going to get to be making this much a month. Because for me to promote to Diamond, it means that there's 3 people that are promoting to Ruby, 1 that's promoting to Emerald, and what that meant. And so I just kept sharing what I was going through so people felt related to me when I was doing that. And that was honestly a big thing for my business. And then for me to have my son and people to see that he's going to be 8 months old this month, and to see that I'm still home, still being able to make money from my phone, people see that, and I'm expecting my second child. So now they're seeing that I get to continue to stay home with my kids because of this business. So that's kind of a little bit about how like I promoted during boom season. And honestly, if you're brand new, take advantage of boom season, because when I started in boom season, yes, it was February. So I had plenty of time that I could have promoted my very first boom season, but I didn't know, my upline wasn't very helpful. So like I didn't have the training. I didn't have the knowledge that I needed to be able to promote. And back then things were so different than they are now that we didn't have the resources we had back then. So if you are wanting to make this business work for you and you're wanting to know how to truly maximize your boom season, you need to be talking to your leader. You need to be talking to your enroller, telling them what your goals are. Make sure you're talking to them daily. If you're in a chat, talk to them daily as well. Massive action equals massive results. Okay. Kayla, this will be my last question for you. And then I think Katie was going to answer some questions, and then she had some questions as well. So what does your daily 6 list look like? I know that's different for everybody. So what are the things that you have to get done daily to maximize what you feel like you've accomplished for your day, whether that looks like enrollments or following or messaging or anything like that?
So the first thing I do when I wake up is I interact. That's the very first thing I do, and I don't know why, but that's just what I do. I go straight to Facebook and Instagram and I interact, comment, and like on things. And then I get up and make my coffee. I'm obsessed with keto coffee and chocolate greens. I have lost 20 pounds with our triple threat. So I am so consistent with posting my keto coffee and greens on my story every single day. I am so consistent with that. And it's like routine. Like people that follow me like religiously, like if I don't have like a keto coffee greens on my story, like there's something wrong. So I do that first just because it's so important to like be a product of the product and like show that you're using the product. And, you know, if you don't like coffee, find a different product and fall in love with it and just post about it. Post about like how you feel about it and how it makes you feel and like what you like about it and stuff. That's literally like the key. It's just like sharing about the products. That's literally what we do. And then after that, I update my chart every single day. I have a lot of newbies on my team now. So like I literally have charts for everyone. I have charts for every single working girl on my team. I update it every single day because if you don't look at your chart and you don't update it, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea where you're going. It's like your chart's a map. Like if you were going somewhere and driving somewhere and you didn't have a GPS, you wouldn't know where to go, right? So like your chart is your GPS to your promotion, literally. So it's just so important to like know where you're going, know where the volume is going, know who's promoting, who's not, whatever. So I update my chart every single day. I also journal every single day. And I started journaling in October. So almost 4 months ago now. And it has changed the game for me. I literally never journaled before that. And I journal about everything. I feel like when it comes to journaling, everybody does it different. But for me, I kind of keep it like a diary. I kind of like talk about what I did the day before or what happened to me that morning. You know, if I enrolled or not, like what I'm like going through as a leader, what's happening on my team, what's happening with volume, what's happening with my personal life. And then I say like, I just like thank God for like all the blessings that he's bringing into my life. And then I also say 5 things that I'm grateful for. Because like no matter what you're going through, even if it's something like sad, you always have something to be grateful for. And I think it's so important to like appreciate the little things that you do have in life. So I say like 5 things I'm grateful for. And then I always write down my goals every single day. I write down like what I want. So obviously like the goal is to enroll every single day, but like how many LCs do you want to enroll? How many DTs do you want to enroll? How many messages do you want to send out? You know, it just really kind of depends on like what promotion you're going for or like what kind of daily goals that you have. So for me, it's always 2 LCs and 2 DTs. I just make it 2 and 2 like that's, and if I literally write it down, like I'm already like speaking it into existence. And then I just start working. I just start like, I follow twice a day, because I have a very bad thing about getting blocked. I was blocked pretty much all summer from following and posting. So I had to just figure out a number that worked for me. And that's just like the tricky thing about following now, but I can follow 150 per day. I cannot go over that. If I do, I get blocked. So I also have 5 Instagram accounts because I'm insane. So all collectively together, I have like probably over 14,000 followers.
If you are brand new, do not be like Kayla and have 5 Instagrams.
No, please do not do that.
Make sure your first one is up and running before you even think about a second one. To be honest,
yes,
I only have one. I have a backup. Taking Kayla's advice, I don't use it.
Right, and the only
on your first one.
Yeah, like the only reason why I have multiple is because I have been blocked so many times. So like if you have one Instagram and like you're like, whoa, like I don't suggest making a second Instagram until your first Instagram has at least 2,000 followers on it. So yeah, I work all my Instagrams every single day, and then I just message. I do a lot of unsend resends, like a lot. Never be afraid to ask someone about products more than once. You just never know, you know, like when you message someone, you never know what they're going through in their life. Like you have no idea what they were doing or where they were when they opened your message. You know, I feel like a lot of people get caught up on being read, like being left on read and stuff, but like you legit have no idea how their day is going or what's going on in their life. You have no clue. So like, don't ever think that like, if you're left on read, it's because of you. It's never you, it's them. So I do a lot of unsend resends. I've started messaging for distributors. And then at the end of each day, I write down all the people's numbers that I got. I save my contacts by first and last name just because I like to be very personal. So I write down all the names like in a planner. I have never used a planner until January 1st, 2020. Okay. I've been in this business for 3 years almost. I have never used a planner, and I am like so not organized, but like I'm working on it. But I have a planner now, and I can tell just from the past like 2 weeks of this year, I pressed the reset button on January 1st. I told myself I was going to be organized. Follow-ups was my biggest weakness, and I wanted to strengthen that. So what I've been doing is just writing down every single day anybody's number that I get. That way tomorrow I can follow up with everybody that I talked to yesterday that I got their number and everybody the day before. And honestly, that has been so helpful. Like if you are not following up, you are missing out on a lot of sales and a lot of distributors. I will say that. Yeah, I've signed 8 distributors this month. So yeah, it's just follow-ups are key. And then, yeah, that's like the last thing I do before I go to bed is like write down like everybody's like, contact that I got. So that's my daily thing. Oh, I also listen to self-development every single day. I don't care how long I listen to it. I make sure to listen to it, whether it's a half hour or 3 hours, just because it's so important to like stay in a positive mindset. And honestly, like, I'm not some magical unicorn. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I have bad days. But at the same time, like, when I do have those doubts, when I do have, like, that feeling of, like, not believing in myself, that's when I turn on self-development, because that is what's going to keep you going. because like that positive mindset, like believing in yourself and just knowing that you can do it, that is literally what's going to keep you going. And another thing about self-development is that you will realize things about yourself or about your work ethic that you didn't realize before. So my go-tos are always Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins. They're my people. If you have not listened to the 10X Rule, listen to it. That is like my all-time favorite book by Grant Cardone. But other than that, that's basically what I do every single day.
Amanda Francis is another really good one that I like to listen to for self-development. Self-development honestly can be anything for you guys, whether that be if you like to listen, if you retain things more listening to something, you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to a video on YouTube. Honestly, I mix it up day to day. It depends. Sometimes I'll read my book. Honestly, I've got 2 different books going. One's more for like a business aspect and one's more for like a personal aspect. I have 5 books sitting on my shelf right now. I've kind of dabbled with who I'm actually reading. But I don't read them every day because sometimes I just need to listen to something. I need to hear someone's voice telling me whatever I was looking at that day. Kayla and I did lie. There's actually one more thing I wanted to ask you before I had Katie talk. What are your best tips for marketing on Facebook? I know for me, I personally just post the same thing on Instagram and Facebook. I don't really switch it up. I don't post on my Facebook story as much as I should, even though I know I can link them, but what are your best tips, whether it be for somebody who's new or somebody who's been in the business, for keeping your stuff all nice and pretty?
So I do. Okay. So I use Facebook and Instagram, but I will say I only message on Instagram. I don't message on Facebook. I just don't. I probably should. I'm in the process of cleaning up my friends list right now because I'm almost at 5,000. I don't know if they've changed that rule, but I need to clean it out anyway. So once I clean that out, I will be using Facebook way more. But I will say that anything I post on Instagram, it's on my Facebook. I just don't care what people think. I know sometimes people use when they don't want to use Facebook because it's like with their family and their friends and whoever. I just don't care. Because it's like a whole other network that you can use, and the amount of distributors and customers I've gotten from Facebook just from posting, it's been a good amount. So I link my Instagram story to my Facebook. So whenever I post on my Instagram, it automatically posts to Facebook for me. I only do that with my stories. I don't do that with physical posts. Like, you know how you can connect like your Instagram to your Facebook to like make posts for you automatically. I don't do that because
don't do that. Don't start either.
No. Don't do that because it ruins the algorithm and it makes people see your stuff less because you're posting to Facebook from Instagram. You're not physically using the Facebook app. So I just copy and paste my caption right into like a post on Facebook and I post the picture that I posted on Instagram. I don't do anything different. I don't change the caption. I just keep it simple. And then on Facebook, people like to laugh. People like to look at all your stuff. People like to, relate. They just like to watch things that they can relate to or read things that they relate to. So I always try to be like my best authentic self. Like I am hilarious. Okay. I am funny and like I like to laugh and I like to make other people laugh. So like I will post funny stuff. Like it doesn't even have to be It Works related. I do It Works stuff and then I do like just a random post like showing that like I'm a real person and like showing me. Like so for example, yesterday I love pickles, okay? So I found this meme that says, just an FYI, if you don't want your pickle, I will eat it. Thank you. So many people liked that. Like, I wasn't expecting, like, I just posted it because I thought it was funny because that's something I would do. I will gladly eat your pickle if you don't want it. And I posted it. 50 people reacted to it. That's a lot for me. Like 50 people is a lot. 4 people shared it. People commented on it. And like, that's what you want. You want interaction going to your page because the more people interact with you and on your post or whatever, the more that they're going to see your post later on. And then just another thing with Facebook is like, what's really helpful So I know everyone looks at links, right? Or articles about whatever. You see an article, it's funny, or you see a video that's connected to a link, it's funny, and then you share it, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Click the link and then physically copy the link and make it a post. You get so much more interaction when people share it. I posted like this like funny like elf name thing like around Christmas, and like I just copied the picture that I saw from a link. I saw it from a link. I clicked on the link and then I shared it. I got over 280 comments and 540 shares. That's a lot of interaction. There's so much right there. So I'm very, very big on interaction and like commenting on people's stuff and being like funny in myself, but also being it works all at the same time. That's pretty much how I work my Facebook. I try to post something funny like once a day. I also do a lot of host to post on Facebook as well. I do host to post on Instagram too, but I do it completely different on Facebook. So if you want me to talk about that, I can, but that's pretty much what I do on Facebook.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask Katie some questions, but she stepped away for a minute. But no, that was helpful. Does anybody have any questions for Kayla?
I saw a few questions, but I have no idea if they were from me or
Go
not.
back up. Let me see if I can find.
How would you go about selling the products? I message. My goal is to message 100 to 150 people every single day. You constantly want to be talking to new people. If you don't have like a message to send out, like just reach out to your upline and they'll give one to you. But I mainly message and post on my story. I post on my story of like me physically using the products, and then I post on my story of like the products. I do always have a now hiring post in your story. Always. Every single day. Because you just never know who's going to see your story, especially like when you accept new follow requests. Like I cannot tell you how many times I have accepted like brand new people to look at my page and they swipe up on my story within like a day of following me. So it's so important to post in your story, but also make sure you're following new people every single day to grow your network. That is so important. Is there any other questions? I have no idea.
No, that was the only one I saw. And as for it saying, how would a guy go about selling the products? Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Doesn't matter. No. These products are for everybody. Anybody can use them. You're not going to go message somebody, hey girl, but you shouldn't be messaging. Hey,
you can say their name. I don't say hey girl. I say hey whatever their name is.
Hey girl. So it doesn't honestly matter if you're a guy or a girl. You can still message, you can still follow, you still follow up. Got it. It's fine.
Good.
Okay, there's Katie. She's back. Well, Katie, did you have anything you wanted to add to sorry. Pregnancy brain. Did you have anything you wanted to add to anything Kayla said, any of the questions that were asked? Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and have you hop in with your questions that your team had come up with.
Yeah, I was just basically going to ask Kayla a little bit more. Since we were picking each other's brain the other day, like I came up with things that I was like, I really want to help myself and my team. So I've been really talking to my team a lot about the seeds that you plant today, you'll reap the harvest later, and it's not going to be an immediate thing. So don't expect it. So with your team, how are you able to convey it to them? Like basically that, like, I know it's simple, but how are you helping your team understand, like, not to just give it 2 weeks, not to give it 30 days, like give it 3 months or more. I mean, obviously we want them to be in it for the long haul, but what are you doing with your team?
Are you talking about just like messaging, or are you talking about like follow-ups, or are you just talking about like in general?
Just in general, because I feel like all of like what you did for your daily 6 is not 6 things. You do so many more things. And that's where I think people fall short in like their short-sightedness. Sightedness is they think that it's only 6 things that we do, and it's not. And so like, how are you able to convey that to your team that like, hey, it's all of these things, all the things, all the time for all the goals. You know what I mean?
Right. So
Kayla, can I throw something in there before I lose this thought? Because Katie, I
Yes,
have
go.
great answer to that. Honestly, if you feel like you're not doing enough, then you aren't.
Mm.
So like I said before, and like Kayla said, like Kayla's got certain numbers that she goes through each day when she messages and when she follows and stuff like that. But if you feel like those numbers, like say you get through all that in your morning and you've got the rest of your day, don't stop because you have the rest of your day open and you've already done what you thought you wanted to do for the day. You can still work the rest of the day. You don't limit yourself to any certain number or any certain amount of conversations or anything. You always want to be talking to the most amount of people that you can. Don't limit yourself. That's really all I wanted to say, because you could get something done in your first 2 hours of the morning and have all day to do something with your business. But if you choose not to, like, I understand if you're busy or if you have a job to go to or you have school, but still, if you have the rest of your day that you can do something with your business, do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
100%. I mainly I tell my team that this business takes time. You're not going to make $500 in a day. You're not going to make it in a week. And I always say that this business does take time, like, to like promote to Diamond or something like that. Like, but at the same time, like, I always remind them that it's easy. What we do is so easy. Like, we get to use social media and talk to people and help other people all over the world through social media, which we are already on no matter what. So I always constantly remind them that you don't go anywhere without your phone. You really don't. You don't go to a friend's house without your phone. You don't go to class without your phone. You don't go to a sport without your phone. You don't go to a family event without your phone. Your phone comes everywhere with you. And I think I just remind my team all the time is that it's all about just fitting it in to your day. But at the same time, like, you're already on your phone anyway, so you might as well make money while doing it. So I also say that it just takes time to learn something new. And that's with any job. If you got a job at Target, you're going to have to learn everything that Target offers. You're going to have to learn how to work the cash register. You're going to have to learn how to open the whole Target store and close. Like, you're going to have to learn that. Then you're not going to learn it overnight. It's going to take time. So I always use that example for my team because, like, if you got a job at Target, you would go and learn, right? You would go and show up to your shift and learn what you need to do to get money, right? So I always say, like, this business is no different. You show up every day and you learn. You learn. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be hard? Probably. But, like, that comes with doing anything new. And I just constantly remind my team of that. And another thing is that, like, I feel like when people first start, they get really discouraged when, you get left on red or people are rude or your friends are, like, saying something or your family doesn't like it, whatever. I always remind my team, I'm like, you are here for a reason. You joined this team for a reason. You joined for you, not anybody else, because nobody else pays your bills. Only you do. And, like, I just always remind my team of, like, just to keep focus on themselves, basically. Be you, do you, for you, always. That is literally in my bio. That is, like, a quote that I live by. And I always tell my team, like, be you, do you, for you, always, every single day. Don't care what other people are thinking about. Don't care what other people are saying. Because no matter what you do in life, people are always going to have something to say, whether it's good or bad. That's just life. That's, like, you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything to stop it. But, like, the whole point is that you did this for you and not anyone else. So I constantly tell my team that, and I constantly tell them to just be patient and give themselves grace and, like, give it a shot, give it time. And just as long as you do the things every single day and you don't ghost me, you will be successful. If you do all the things every day like I do, you will be successful. And like I said earlier, when it comes to being left on red or those rude people that say rude crap or whatever, you block them and you move on. And another thing is that when people are weighing you down, people are like, coming at you, be like, what? Why are you a part of that? What are you doing? Like, just remember, anybody that's rude to you, anybody that says that, oh, this is a pyramid scheme, blah, blah, blah. Anybody that's rude to you or mean to you, just remember, those people that are bringing you down are already below you. They're already below you. And like, misery loves company. Those people that are down, like all the way down there, they're miserable and they want you to come with them. So they're bringing you down. They're already below you. Rise up. Be you. Do you. For you. Always. Forget everyone else. Okay, I'm done.
I love that. And it's so true. The misery loves company part. But the thing is that we all have to remember is if they're trying to drag us down, who are we pleasing by following them? We are not pleasing ourselves. We're literally succumbing to the pressure and to what people think about us. So I love that. And I have to just add this in there because here lately I've been thinking more about how I can run my business in a way that is like obviously leading by example. So instead of like telling my team what to do, I'm trying to do it. And so I feel like so much of this, what we've been talking about in giving the business time is really truly just committing. Like absolutely committing. No ifs, ands, or buts. You wake up, you do this, and it beats that 8-to-5 job. If you've been able to retire yourself, you know the difference. Personally, I'm going to just insert a little experience is when like the 2 times that I really promoted was 2 different times of my life. One, I was working full time, and then the next was after I already retired myself and work from home. And so it doesn't matter your schedule. You fit this in the nooks and crannies, but you literally just commit and you commit to doing the daily 6 plus more to get to where you want to go, because you will see your seeds literally come to fruition if you just be consistent. And that's the whole thing. Like Kayla said, it's easy and it's simple what we do. Imagine having to go to Target and get trained and having to be at a job where you're sick and you're not feeling well. Like I'd much rather be in my bed working my business and have to go to Target or, you know what I'm saying, anywhere else. And so let me see if I had a couple more questions, Kayla.
Wait, can I say something?
Please, of course.
So like if you guys drop a 2, if you have a job that you hate or you don't like or you want to quit or you work too much or it takes away time from your family or your friends, drop a 2 if any of that relates to you. I want to see some 2s because I know I am not alone because that's how I felt. Give me some more. Give me some more 2s. Come on. Wake up, people. Come on. 2s. Let me see the 2s. So I'm going to say this. If you go to a job that you hate, that you don't like, you work too much at, you don't get to see your family, your friends, whatever the reason, you don't like your job for whatever reason, right? Why are we so willing to go to a job that we hate and show up every single day, but you won't show up for a business that is so simple and so easy and that you actually love? Why do we do that? Really, truly, honestly. Because like I used to be a lifeguard, okay? I used to be a lifeguard. I would work 40 hours. I got 80 hours in 2 weeks. So 40-hour weeks in the baking sun, okay? Like I'm talking like 102-degree humidity, okay? Dealing with screaming children, never having time to take a weekend away and go somewhere. I only had 2 days off a week and they were Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on my days off, I was exhausted. My mom and my whole family would make plans without me. I was done with that. I was done. I was so over that. Like, and I just knew that like I had to make a change. So I stuck this business out because I knew what it could do for me. And like, you know what? All you people on right now, you have seen someone, whether it's your personal upline or someone that you look up to, that has done all the things and they do this full time and they are living their best life. They are no different than you. You are worthy. You can do it. It just comes down to how bad do you want it? Give it time, stick it out, work hard, keep going. Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing. So like if you're in a valley right now, I was in a valley all of 2019. If you're in a valley right now, You have to go through the valley to get to the mountaintop. This valley is full of monsters and negativity and whatever you're going through, right? But you have to push through the suck to get to the top. You have to push through the hike to get up there. And then once you get to the top, you get to your promotion or whatever your goal is, and then you get to see the view. You get to feel it. And then you'll say to yourself, wow, everything I went through and all the time that I took to do this business paid off. You guys, work this business no matter what you do. Whether you're a mom or a dog mom or go to school, or maybe you do this full time and you want to make more money. I don't care what it is. Do this business. It is so simple and goddamn easy. Just do it. You're the only person holding yourself back. That's another thing I want to say. You're the only person that holds yourself back. So stop it. Step up, rise up. You can do it. Okay, that's it.
I love it. And I know Darian had to get off, but I was looking through and she pretty much, you answered all the questions that I had down too. So honestly, I just love this Zoom so much because I feel like we've all needed to hear this and just kind of, I don't know, like reassess everything. That's why we have these weekly Zooms. If it was necessary to only do it once a year, guess what? We'd only do it once a year. But we lose track of who we are and why we're doing this. And if you haven't made your dream board yet, like seriously, I have it right here. And I'm like, that is such a motivating factor for literally getting my butt to work. I have on there not just money. I have on there what I want to do for my family. Like I want to help my parents retire. I want to help my husband retire. I want to like take my family on a family vacation. Like if your why doesn't make you cry, you're going to keep doing the starting and the stopping. Mm-hmm. I swear you will, because I did it. And half of you guys probably have already. So make your why so strong. Like there's nobody that can tell you this business sucks. There's nobody that can tell you this is a pyramid scheme. There's nobody that can tell you our products do not work. You get your results from using the products. You stand behind everything that this company has to offer because it is amazing. And we're, like Kayla said, we're no different. Like we're literally just like letting our why be the motivating factor for us showing up every day. So I love this Zoom so much. So excited. I think she made you host. I'm not sure what happened with that. Okay.
Are there any more questions before we end it? Because it's almost 10. Or for me, it's almost 10. If anybody has any questions, just drop them in the chat.
Somebody said, anyone here listening to me?
I don't know what that means. Did you ask a question? I promise I'm not rude. So you ladies know there's a guy in this business now, and I'm new, and I don't know how to go about selling the products. Like I can sell the weight loss products, but what about everything else? You can use skincare. I mean, anybody can use our products. It's not just weight loss that you can use. And you can still post on your story. You can still post. You can still message. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. It's all about, like, you using the products, you talking to people every day, and just doing it. There's nothing else, like, to it. When it comes to selling the products, you have to first use them yourself and share them. Post on your story. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, like, the only product that I've never used is hair, skin, and nails. It's the only product I've never used. And I don't use it because I don't want my hair to grow. I like my hair short, or actually it's kind of long, but I don't want it to grow, so I don't use it. But it's like, I post about the keto coffee and greens every day. I post about our skincare. I post about our Confianza and Thermophyte X, Confianza and Super Reds. So nice because they help me so much with my anxiety. So like you can use that if you have anxiety or stress or whatever. Like those are so helpful. Keto energy is something that you can do for like a midday pick-me-up or use it before the gym. That's what I do. I took it earlier today. That's okay. You don't have to have your starter kit to even start. Like you can still like message and stuff and post on your story. There's so many like tools that you can use, and I'm sure that you're in a page where like you can, use like people's stories that they've posted before, and you can use them. You also can have like a sample message that someone can help you create as well. You're never alone. I want you to know that. Like, you're not alone in this. Like, you're not also the only guy in It Works. There's actually a lot of guys in It Works.
And I know when I started, I'm just going to like insert just one thing. When I first started, just like all of us, we didn't know what the products were. unless you were a customer before and maybe you knew a couple things. But like when you start talking to people and you have these actual conversations, not just copy and paste messages, you're finding out who these people are. You're finding out what they want, like why they follow you, the things that they want to achieve, like weight loss, or man, maybe they have acne and you can help them with different things. You're going to be asking those important questions, and that's what's going to help you figure out what they need. And I feel like each and every one of us, we can go to Walmart and we can have like a meal plan set in stone, and everyone's going to be different. Like I might make spaghetti one night while Kayla's doing spaghetti squash or something. I don't know. And so that's the whole thing, is like figuring out what each person needs. That way it's not just weight loss for everyone,
Right.
You know, because not everyone needs that. So just make sure you're asking questions, and asking enough where, like, if our keto coffee, I don't know, like if our keto coffee's got caffeine, like someone might be sensitive to caffeine and still want to lose weight. So, you
Right.
know, knowing things like that is going to help.
Yeah. And another thing is like follow guys in this company that are successful and do this full time with their wives or maybe even on their own. Like Joel Dunn. Joel Dunn is the number one income earner and It Works. And he's a guy and he's so successful. I mean, yes, his wife does it, but like he has his own account with It Works and he works his business just as hard as Stephanie does. So like he is so successful and like his posts are bomb. Like, you know, like follow him. I'm trying to think of like other like guys in It Works.
I know. I can't think of their last
Carrie
names.
Young and Martavius.
Martavius.
Oh my God. Martavius, he's dope. He's very, very, very honest and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously so supportive of Carrie. But like if you literally like go to Joel Dunn's page, I guarantee it that if you go through his friends list, like you will also find guys that are friends with him that do It Works too. I always follow people that inspire me. So like, and Joel Dunn is one of those people, and I'm a girl. So like definitely follow Joel. Joel Dunn is like the first person I would follow if I was in your shoes. Anyone else have any questions or anything? Like anything? I know I'm a little red, so sorry if I scared you, but I really do not mean to, and that is not my intention. I just like am just brutally honest, and I don't hold back just because I don't have time for bull crap, and I would never lie to someone's face. So no one has any other questions or anything? Okay, I definitely scared them, Katie.
That's what I wanted. No, it was so good. And honestly, we all need some red in our life if we're not already that way. But I think it was awesome. We'll definitely do it again sometime.
Sweet. I'm pumped.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
I'm ending this recording.